A major local food bank says food insecurity is on the rise. Meantime, new tax legislation could cut federal spending on the SNAP benefits program, also known as food stamps. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. According to a new report, the number of people who don't know where their next meal is coming from rose nearly 50%. Our Ian Hardwitt met a man who relies on those benefits and the organizations that support him.
Mark Jenkins uses SNAP benefits, but it's not always enough. So he gets extra food from Neighborhood House's food pantry in the Portland neighborhood.
Anybody can fall short. Anybody can have everything taken from them, and need some help.
The benefits Jenkins relies on could be scaled back at the federal level. It's one goal of President Donald Trump's self-titled Big Beautiful Bill on taxes. Now, the House Committee on Agriculture is considering SNAP reforms, like lowering administrative cost payouts to 25% down from 50%, increasing the age of work requirements from 54 up to 64, and making states shoulder more of the costs.
Requiring states to have some skin in the game and encouraging more effective and efficient administration of the program, all while getting folks who can work back to work.
The Dare to Care Food Bank warns against the reforms its CEO describes as cuts.
It creates this opportunity, what I'll call the perfect storm.
A storm where food insecurity rises and the resources to address it fall. In the last 2 years, the food bank calculates that 1 in 10 people went from being food insecure around Louisville to 1 in 7. CEO Vincent James worries federal grant cuts could eliminate 25% of the food Dare to Care provides through the Emergency Food Administration program.
Because it's going to be a different world that we live in if it happens.
And back here at the pantry, that need absolutely tracks. What was 275 people coming through in April 2023 has now become 819 people coming through just last month, an increase of 200%.
It's going to be scary if we get a lot of more people, but I'll take them. I'll take as much as I can get.
Pantry Director Miranda Crawford saw 441 people visit this month already and expects more traffic as people spend their food stamps.
So then they have to come here to make up for what they don't have.
As one of the 441, Jenkins disagrees with the reforms.
If somebody's voting for something like that, they've never had to deal with it. They've always had everything.
Heading back out the door, he left looking for a job. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS 11, on your side.
And these tax reforms aren't final. They're still working through House committees before moving on to the U.S. Senate.
So there is still time for you to contact your representative about this.
Well, massive budget cuts are on the way for JCPS. The district voted last night to scrap nearly $100 million in spending for the next school year. Teachers lined up outside Van Hoos Education Center ahead of that vote, asking for pay raises. The budget lays out $12 million in cuts to the transportation stipends for parents, $1.6 million also gone, money earmarked to buy new buses, and $1.5 million cut in the TARC transportation renegotiations. Every board member voting yes to those cuts.
Wild economic conditions in this country that are unpredictable from day to day to day. We need to be seriously looking at our revenue streams going forward. I don't see how we avoid next year without a tax increase on the ballot.
And Superintendent Marty Polio said the cuts come after COVID federal aid ran out.
The other top story we're following for you, cell phones are going to be banned on Jefferson County Public School campuses beginning next school year.
The Board of Education also voted last night to ban phones across the entire district. That's including in classrooms, in hallways, and at lunch.
That vote last night made the policy even more restrictive than first thought. WHAS 11's Alexander Goldberg is following up with more on the sweeping policy.
A total ban on cell phones across all Jefferson County public school campuses has sparked a debate across Louisville. But one school, Fern Creek High School, has created a blueprint for other schools in the district to follow once the policy is implemented next academic school year.
And we wanted something that was really simple to follow, that everyone could easily understand. So the concept that we're phone free from 8:40 to 3:20, There's no ambiguity in that.
A majority of the Board of Education voted for a total ban on phones in classrooms, in hallways, and at lunch. Linda Duncan was in opposition.
The phones are present, and so I think it's probably more important to try and help kids learn how to use these phones correctly.
Jefferson County Teachers Association President Maddie Shepard says each school has the agency on how they want to implement that policy.
It will definitely be a culture shift at every school, but there was a time before cell phones when we had to handle all of those things without them. So it can be done.
In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side.
Well, according to a JCPS survey, 59% of all middle and high school principals support the total ban. Another survey asked the staff members the very same question.
Well, over 1,000 staff members responded and 60% supported the total ban, but the result leaned in the other direction for parents and students. Only 8% of students wanted the total ban, and out of 5,000 parents, half wanted the ban to be just in the classroom.
We've got a hot and humid day, and it's not even the hottest it's going to get this week. Our chief meteorologist, Mallory Schnell. And Mallory, that sky behind you even looks like a southern sky with all that humidity in the air.
Yeah, you can tell with the puffy cumulus clouds that we've been seeing around today. We certainly have that moisture in the air, but thankfully we're getting a little bit of a break today from the rain. Though we can't rule out a spotty shower or storm this evening and tonight. Right now, though, all is dry. We're sitting in the lower 80s. Dew points are in the upper 50s, so your relative humidity at 47%. And there is a bit more of a breeze today. Those winds coming in from the south-southeast in Louisville, gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. But satellite and radar once again, after some early morning showers in southern Indiana, those lifted northeastward pretty quickly. We've been enjoying dry skies all across Kentuckiana and partly cloudy conditions as well. Your hour-by-hour futurecast, though, as we continue onward into the evening hours, a warm front's going to lift into the region, and that could trigger a few isolated showers or thunderstorms, I'd say after sunset, taking us into the overnight period. Otherwise, staying very warm and muggy tonight, with lows only dropping into the upper 60s to low 70s. Tomorrow, warmest day likely of the year so far, with highs climbing into the upper 80s. Then we're watching the potential for strong storms. We have a slight chance Thursday, better chance on Friday. I'll be breaking down those details coming up in our extended forecast.
Thank you, Mallory. The man charged with the 2022 murder of Brittany Bowman made his first appearance in court this morning. Derek Pixley was arrested Monday and appeared in front of a Clark County judge, Nicholas Carafa. Bowman died after spending 89 days in the hospital after she was shot. The Clark County Sheriff's Office originally investigated the shooting, but requested ISP pick up the case. A representative for the Bowman family says they are satisfied with today's court proceedings.
They feel that accountability has started. They ultimately want to see it completed, but right now they're all exhausted. Every single one of them are just absolutely exhausted, and they're ready for the judicial system to do what it does.
No, Your Honor.
The judge went with the prosecutor's suggestion and decided Pixley will be kept in custody without bond in the interest of public safety. He's due back in court for a pretrial conference in June.
A southern Indiana man in court today accused of killing his wife on Valentine's Day. It happened in Jeffersonville off of Westwood Drive. Jeffersonville police responded to the Meyer home after calls of a domestic disturbance, but once officers got on the scene, they knew it was more than that. Officers say 34-year-old Taylor Meyer was aggressive toward officers and would not let them inside. They brought in more help from Indiana State Police. Once inside, they found 3 children under 5 years old and Deborah Meyer fatally injured. A detective testifying today that Taylor admitted to fighting with Deborah, strangling and eventually stabbing her to death.
Was him supposedly saying that he killed her? Was that prior to being tased or after being tased? Before being tased? And so he just comes out, I killed her, I killed her? That's my understanding.
At the scene and charged with murder. Today, Meyer is asking for a reduced bond. The judge did deny that request.
Thank you.
Well, the latest tonight in the Blackiston Mill Dam fight, Floyd County commissioners have applied with the state to tear down the dam. The formal request was sent to the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. Commissioners called the dam a compromised structure. They want to take down the dam and then get started on reopening Blackiston Mill Bridge, but they say the dam must go first. The commission says anyone with public comments or concerns can reach out until May 28th.